I wanted to go to something different about Nane Nane because of time. The country now is going to be asking the Kenya we are, the Kenya we want, and where do we go from here? And one of the reasons I am very motivated by the Nane Nane call is because it reminds me about the March on Washington that was conducted by Martin Luther King Jr. and the proponents then of the civil rights struggle in the US. It became a rallying call that brought over 1 million people to march on the mall in Washington. And it became a pivotal point in the war for changing the United States. I'm saying this because, in political emancipation or revolution, you have a war is there, but of course, war is a series of battles. Against Zakayo was the fighting of the finance bill. If you look at what that finance bill has done, it one was had to be withdrawn because of people pressure. But now, because of Omutata's work in court, the Finance Bill 2023 has also been defeated. And many can argue it was also defeated because then the public also rose against the Finance Bill 2023, as Eugene was saying. And therefore, this battle of the finance bill, which touches the economy, has been a success. Winston Churchill talked about the Battle of Britain when the UK and the German Air Force had the major battle. And historians say that the Battle of Britain changed the course of the World War II. And I think the defeat of both the Finance Act of 2024 and that of 2023 energizes the calls for Nane Nane, because the dynamics, whether ODM has gone to government or not, and whether we can push these other leaders of Asimio not to cooperate with Odinga will depend on people pressure. And the success of Nane Nane will have ramifications. It has already caused Zakayo trouble. It's causing a split in Azimio. It's causing a split in ODM. It means that the people power is working. So Nane Nane ought to be organized so that all Kenyans march on Nairobi from wherever they are. People need to bus, people need to travel, people need to find a way of getting to the capital so that we can have, an act of force that can go into Kenya's history as the biggest day Kenyans can come together. And this will begin to re-energize our young people and everybody involved to have a goal that we can be able to achieve. So I'd like to use these spaces to appeal and to actually say, look, we are halfway there. And if we are able to make one moral statement, because with this court ruling, it has re-emphasized that we were right on attacking the financial aspects of our struggle. And if we can on Nane Nane celebrate the fall of the 2023 bill plus the 2024 bill, we can be able to get back the momentum, answer Ruto's political reshuffle with people power, and be able to show Zakayo that he has gained nothing, and put Wamalos and Kalonzos of this world to join us so that if they're on the streets, the bullets might be less fired at our people.
I just wanted to issue some words of encouragement to the people here that whatever we are doing is not in vain. It has been done in the past by the past generations, and the result of so many people's contributions and sacrifices. And therefore, it is upon us to keep on keeping on, and we make sure that we do not lose the eyes on the ball. We must stick and hold onto the deck. And that is why I heard Tonny Gachoka yesterday making very able submissions. He made submissions and said that all hands must be on the deck. We cannot afford to lose an opportunity where the ship can be derailed, where the ship can lose its course. We do not want to hit icebergs on the way. We must make sure that this titanium, the Titanic, anchors safely to where we are. And the anchor that we are looking for is the anchor of good governance, the anchor of accountability, the anchor of transparency, the anchor where the rule of law reigns, a situation whereby the respect of human rights prevails, a situation whereby we have respect for the bare minimum of humanity, I can guarantee you and I can bet my last dollar that that will not be brought forth by Mr. William Ruto and his cabals. If any one of you is desirous of having a good country that is governed by the rule of law, then we must focus on calling out Mr. William Ruto and tell him that he's not fit for purpose. He does not fit the bill whatsoever. And he has demonstrated that very ably, and he has consistently convinced all Kenyans that he's not capable of giving us the good governance that is contemplated by the Constitution. And therefore, in that circumstances, or when we Kenyans find ourselves in that circumstances, we cannot just fold our hands and watch things go astray. We must therefore come out and speak with a loud voice for any person who bothers to hear to listen, that we need good governance. And fortunately, the Constitution has given us the right tools. And the tool under Article 37 must be exploited and stretched to its limit. We must tell William Ruto that the power that has been donated to us and reserved to us under Article 1 of the Constitution can only be ventilated through Article 37. And therefore, you must respect any person who comes on the street on the Nane Nane. We expect that any person who comes on the street will not lose his life because he's exercising a constitutional obligation. Yes, Mr. William Ruto has a constitutional obligation of making sure that the country is peaceful, but he does not have the right to come and interfere with a peaceful protest. Therefore, we are putting him on notice that his people and his cabals and his police officers and his exterminators must on the 8th of 8th put down their guns and respect the people's views. We have always advocated for a movement that is governed by the Constitution, a movement that is within the confinements of the four corners of the Constitution. I am a big advocate of constitutional means of effecting changes in this country. I have never been known of advocating for extra constitutional means. And therefore, we are saying, since we are within the confinement of the Constitution, then we also deserve to be respected. Don't bother with us, we'll not bother with you. But we shall bother with you to tell you that you are not fit for this country and that the country is sick and the country needs a serious physician. And we must tell Mr. William Ruto that he must give us the way. He must give us the way to make sure that we have a good country that can be able to take care of our generation. It will surprise you today that the newborn babies are not even able to get the bare minimum of the vaccination of the BCG. You can understand how many newborn babies are going home without those crucial vaccinations. And that's why we are saying, you who has not made up your mind to come on the streets on the 8th of August, Nane Nane to come and demonstrate and dramatize against the sickness of this country. You who has not yet made up your mind to come, and you who are not willing to come, at least come and march for freedom. March for that one young child who has been born today and he has gone back home without a vaccination for BCG. And he has nobody or he has nobody to speak for. Come and march for that cancer patient who cannot speak because he's not able to access the bare minimum of health facilities. That cancer patient who cannot access chemotherapy. That cancer patient who cannot access radiotherapy. Come and march out for him. Come and speak because he's voiceless. Come and speak for that teacher who retired last year and he has not been able to be given his pensions. Come and march for him because he has no voice. You are the voice of the voiceless. We are saying, come out and march for that old woman, that old mama, that old baba down in your village who has not been able to access the bare minimum of the social facilities to support his livelihood. He who has no voice, you must come and stand for him. You must come and march for his voice. Come and march for that woman who is He has no capacity or she has no capacity to access Leader Mama. Come and march out for him. And as we march, we shall have a peaceful march and an unviolent march. They are scaring us and telling us that we shall die. Who is not dying? We are dying of diseases. We are dying of communicable diseases and preventable diseases. We are dying of preventable road accidents. We are dying and being killed on the streets by criminals on day-to-day basis. So anyway, we are walking dead. Whether you come to the streets or you don't come to the streets, you are a candidate of death because of bad governance. So come and march on that day. Come and speak for freedom. And we are saying, get up, stand up for your rights. Let us emancipate ourselves from this slavery, the slavery of bad governance, the slavery of misrule, the slavery of breakdown of the rule of law, and let's come and redeem our country. Let us come and rebuild our country. Let us come and reclaim our country from bad governance.